you're going to be creating an event flyer for an activity that you would like to host. If you've gotten this far and are watching this video, then you would have already done several different assignments leading up to it. Watched a couple different videos on creating flyers, on basic layout, and then also some small assignments. And one of the first assignments you were to do was a brainstorming example or a brainstorming activity. This is my example. You were to make a list of different types of events that you would like to host when you can finally be around your friends and extended family. This is my example of what I wrote down. So different events I would like to host would be a camping trip, outdoor movie night, swim party, barbecue, family reunion, and you can continue with as many ideas as you want. You're going to choose one of these to create an event flyer. I chose an outdoor movie night. This is my example. I showed you this in the last video, and I'm going to explain to you how I created this. Before I start making it, though, I want to get some ideas of what I want to include in it. So if I'm having an outdoor movie night, I want to decide what day is it going to be, what time it's going to be, different activities we're going to do. I've decided that we're going to have a barbecue, and we're also going to swim, have a campfire at night with s'mores, and I also decided what the movie was going to be. So I need to have these ideas so I know what kinds of pictures to gather, if I need to save any of them onto my computer, or if I just want to copy and paste them. Depends on when we get to each section. So to create this flyer, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a slide. Your flyer is going to be 8.5 by 11. Go to page setup. Click on custom and then change the size to 8.5 by 11. And then I need to get rid of all of this stuff here. All right, we're going to be starting on a master because I want to get a background in there that's not going to move on me once I start typing in it. So I need a master with just one layout here. I can get rid of all the rest. So I have just one of those, and then all of this is blank. All right, and I've already decided which background picture I want in there, and I've already saved it. So I'm going to start by inserting an image from my computer. And I want a night sky picture. So I went and inserted that, and I'll go ahead and make this larger. And I want more of the top sky part, not as much of the bottom. So I'm going to line this up right with the top, and then I'm going to crop it. Just double click on it. There are my cropping tools, and I can line up with the sides. Go to the bottom. Line up with the bottom. I'm actually going to slide this up just a little bit, just because I want some of that lighter sky in my picture. And click it. All right, so I have that background, but I want it just a little bit darker because I want to be able to put all of my writing on top of it so that it stands out. And in the last video, I showed you how I put a screen over it. So this is what I'm going to do. going to insert a shape, and I want a rectangle. And it's going to take up the whole paper. Extend it down, it hits the bottom. And I want this to actually be gradient. So I'm going to fill this with a gradient, and I want to custom it because I want my gradient to be see-through at the top. I want transparent, and I want the bottom to be black. Hit OK. And there it darkens everything up. Okay, and that's the background that I'm going to work with. So from there, I'm going to go to a regular screen there. Right. Now, when I'm designing my flyer, I want the most important part to the top. So I want everybody to know exactly what it is I'm going to help post. The backyard drive-in, right? And this whole flyer follows the hierarchy of information, where the most important is at the top and it drags down. And then also the most important things are much larger in font size. So I want food to stand out. I want swim to stand out, so it's a little bit bigger than the fonts down below. I want backyard drive-in to stand out. And I want some emphasis on the movie here. So I've changed the different font styles and I've changed the different sizes. Right? If we're looking at desktop publishing terms, which you would have learned the very first day this week, you would say that the backyard drive-in is our heading. The information beneath right here, that is body copy. Food and swim are considered subheads, and then we also have body copy below them. All right, so we're going to start with the backyard drive-in, and I'm going to insert a word art because I want to make it large, and it's going to say backyard. Hit enter. From there, I'm going to decide exactly what font I want to use. I can also decide what size I want this to be. And I'm going to just choose this one to be Oswald. Really like the Oswald. Actually make it Oswald and the medium. And I can enlarge this as big as I want. Right, and when I put it to the top, I want to stay away from the edges. So leave a border around it. And then I'm going to add drive-in. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add word art. Hit enter. Right, and I'm going to keep it at Oswald, only this one I want to be, I want this one to be extra light. And then I'm going to stretch it. And I want it to be the same width as backyard, but I want it to be a little bit smaller. It's going to go right up underneath it. Right. So there's going to be the title of my event. And then underneath that, I'm going to insert a text box. And the text box, I want to be the same width. Okay, you notice all the blue lines pop up. That means it's the same width. But I'm going to change the color to be white. Then after I start typing, I'm going to change the size and the font. All right, so get ready. So you want to have an idea of what you want to type for your body copy. Okay. All right, now I can keep it the size, or depending on my audience, decide what font I want. And normally, if you have lots of writing, your body text is normally a serif font. Serif fonts tend to make it easier to read. And we can just go ahead and change the size. I can even change the alignment. So it still fits underneath it, a little bit bigger, and you're able to see it. Right. Next thing I want to do is I want to add a picture right in the middle. I want a focal point there. So I'm going to insert an image, and I'm going to upload it from my computer. So I found my picture and I save it. This is the movie screen that I created. And obviously I don't want all of this information around it because that's daytime and a nighttime picture. So I'm going to double click on that so I can crop it. And crop it down. To get the size I want. Like that. Make sure you're grabbing on the right anchor in order to crop. All right, I'm going to unclick this and see if I see anything around it. Yeah, maybe a little bit at the top that I want to get rid of. Crop it down just a little bit more. There. And then I'm going to make it larger. And I want it to take up the same width as my text. Right, but I don't like the white there. I don't think that looks very good. So I'm going to change this rectangle in here to more of a gray color. I'm just going to simply insert a shape over it. Rectangle. I'm going to make it roughly the same size. So I'll curve it, and I change the color. There, sort of dulls it down. There I have my movie screen. Right. So now I also want to put in some writing in here. Right. So I'm going to do insert. I'm going to go with word art just so I can shape it. Featuring. I can change font for that. Go back to Oswald, extra light. I can make that rather small. I don't have that Oswald there. Actually change that to Arial so it stands out. So I decided that the movie is going to be Goonies. And there's no font that's similar to that one. So I actually found the logo for the Goonies, and I'm going to insert it. I found that I saved it. Logo. I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you can pay this. I can whatever size I want. So it stands out. Okay, so just a little trick. When I was looking for, sorry, I just looked up Goonies logo. Went to images. When I build one of these, you want to make sure, if you look at it, it has this little gray checkerboard. That means that there's no background to it. So when I ended up pasting it, there wasn't a white box around it. Okay, that's a way that you can tell that there's not going to be a background. It's just going to be words. It's got that white checkerboard to it. All right. So far, let me find one. All right. I just want to make sure that everything is in there properly. Straighten it all up. Slide everything a little bit. All right, now if I'm having a hard time with getting things that looks like it's centered, I can actually use my arrow keys. And if I just type to the right arrow key, it nudges it a little bit to the right, left would go to the left. I can also go with the down arrow and it'll bring it down just a little bit. Right, and I want featuring down a little bit lower. All right, and now I want to give more information to everybody that's going to be coming to my night. I'm going to start with food. I want to insert an image. I'm going to search the web for this. I'm going to search for s'mores. What kind of s'more I want to show. That one actually is pretty good. Insert that. I want that to be a circle shape. So I'm going to go up to the crop. I'm going to do the down arrow, and I want to make a circle out of it. If you know, made it into an oval. Now I want to do more of a shape. Once I get the shape, then I can go back and I can add or change the size. So I can move this around so it fits up inside of there. I can unclick it. There we have a circle. Make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so there I have my circle. And then I'm going to insert word art. And this time I'm going to put food. Enter. And this one I want Chicago. This is going to be the extra light again. I'm going to move right under circle, and I want to move it up with the size. Okay. All right, I'm going to do another picture over right. Insert web, and this time I want a beach ball. Let's see what was interesting to me. Right. And again, I'm going to crop and to a shape. Right. And I can crop as much as I want there. Make sure much. But then I want to make sure the same as this one. Same size, then slide it over to the right. And I want them to be in line with one another. So if you notice, they're pretty much in line. Okay. But then I want my food and my swim to be exact same size. So what I'm going to do is hold down my control key, I'm going to drag copy this. Then I double click on it and I can pull it up. I can change the name. We'll make it the exact same size underneath. Okay. Then from there, I need to add some more type. Another text box, and it's going to go right underneath food here. One, six. And I'm going to type information about food. So I want it to say. Second. All right, it's going to say. Bring a dish pass and your own beverages, because I'm going to be selling drinks for everybody. And then from here, I want to do this over with. I want to change the size. I want to keep consistency here, so I'm going to use for my body copy, more body copy. It's going to be the same as the body copy that was up here. Okay. And that is Georgia. Change it to Georgia. And then to make it 12 point. And I'm going to temper it. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Over here. So I just hit Control, and then I click and drag. So I have the exact same thing, only I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to change what I'm writing there. And for the swim, it's going to be swimsuits required. Bring your own towels. Right, so those two match. Now I'm more of a symmetrical balance in here, and then I want more information in here because this looks like it's much negative space. So I'm going to insert another text box to go from one to the other, and those you see this say time date. So Friday, June, the fun starts at 5 p.m. I want to stand out a little bit more. So that is going to be is going to be centered. And we're going to start it to 7 point. And there I have an event flyer that lets everybody know that I'm going to have an outdoor movie in my backyard.